I let my girlfriend go on a romantic vacation with her best friend, ignored every red flag, and trusted her over my instincts, only to watch her choose him, gaslight me for having boundaries, destroy our relationship, and teach me the hard way that staying silent, being understanding, and avoiding conflict has real consequences. She sent me a selfie from the airport and I knew right then I'd made the worst mistake of my life. Not going. Not saying anything. Not drawing a line when I should have. My girlfriend Emma was standing next to Derek with matching carry-on bags and coffee cups, both of them grinning like they were about to have the time of their lives. 7 days in Costa Rica. Just the two of them. Her best friend since college. The guy who'd been there for every major moment of her adult life before I came along. The guy I'd never felt threatened by until the moment she told me they'd booked this trip. It's been planned for months, she'd said when she finally mentioned it. 3 weeks before they were supposed to leave. Derek and I always said we'd do this trip together. Before life gets too crazy. I remember staring at her across our kitchen table, coffee going cold in my hand, trying to figure out how to say what I was thinking without sounding like an insecure asshole. A week-long vacation? Just you two? He's my best friend, Joshua, you know this. I did know this. I'd known it for the entire year and a half we'd been dating. Derek was a constant presence. Weekly dinners. Daily texts. Inside jokes I didn't understand. A history I wasn't part of. I'd accepted it because Emma loved me and I trusted her and I didn't want to be that guy who couldn't handle his girlfriend having male friends. But this felt different. I just think it's a little weird, I said carefully. A romantic beach vacation with another guy. Her face changed. Hardened. It's not romantic. It's friends traveling together. People do this all the time. Do they? Yes, Joshua, they do. And honestly, the fact that you're making this weird says more about your trust issues than anything about me and Derek. Trust issues. There it was. The phrase designed to make me back down. To make me the problem. Because if I trusted her, I wouldn't care. If I trusted her, I'd be happy she was going on this amazing trip with her best friend. If I trusted her, I wouldn't feel like my stomach was full of glass. So I backed down. Said it was fine. Said I hoped she had a great time. Kissed her goodbye at the apartment door and watched her leave with her suitcase and her excitement and her best friend waiting in an Uber downstairs. Then I spent the first night staring at the ceiling wondering what the hell I'd just agreed to. The photos started immediately. Emma had always been big on social media but this was different. Constant updates. Beach at sunset. Jungle ziplining. Fancy dinner. Morning coffee on their hotel balcony. And in every single photo, Derek was there. Smiling. Close. Sometimes with his arm around her shoulders. Sometimes just the two of them looking happy in ways I told myself meant nothing. My friends noticed before I said anything. Dude, your girlfriend is on vacation with another guy? My roommate Marcus said on day 2, scrolling through Instagram. That's bold. He's her best friend. Her best friend is getting real cozy in these pictures. I grabbed my phone. Looked again at the latest post. Emma in a sundress, Derek in a linen shirt, both of them barefoot on the beach. His hand was on the small of her back. Just resting there. Casual. Familiar. The caption said living our best lives with a heart emoji. It doesn't mean anything, I said, but my voice sounded hollow even to me. If you say so, Marcus said, but his face said he thought I was an idiot. Maybe I was an idiot. Maybe I should have said no from the beginning. Maybe I should have drawn boundaries and stuck to them and not cared if Emma called me insecure. Because this, sitting at home while my girlfriend played house with another man in paradise, this felt worse than any fight we could have had. I texted her that night. Kept it light. Asked how her day was. She responded 3 hours later with amazing. We went snorkeling. Talk tomorrow? Tomorrow came and she didn't call. Posted more photos instead. Them at a beachside bar. Them on a catamaran. Them cooking together in what looked like a very nice kitchen that I realized with a sinking feeling must be their rental. Their rental. Like they were a couple. Did you guys get separate rooms? I texted. Immediately regretted it. Too obvious. Too jealous. It's a 2-bedroom house, she replied. Cheaper than a hotel and way nicer. You'd love it. But I wasn't there. Derek was there. Derek was waking up in the same house as my girlfriend, sharing meals, sharing experiences, sharing a vacation that looked exactly like a romantic getaway except she insisted it wasn't. My mom called on day 4. How's Emma enjoying Costa Rica? Fine, I guess. You guess? I told her. All of it. The trip, the photos, the feeling in my gut that something was wrong. My mom was quiet for a long time. Honey, she finally said, I'm sure Emma cares about you. But if my boyfriend let me go on a week-long vacation to paradise with another man, I'd wonder why he didn't value himself more. That hit different. Not you should trust her. Not don't be insecure. Just a simple observation that I'd let this happen. That I'd chosen peace over boundaries and now I was paying for it. I tried to call Emma that night. She didn't answer. Texted back at dinner, "Call you later?" Later never came. The next morning there was a new photo. Emma and Derek at sunrise on the beach. She was wearing his sweatshirt. Her head was on his shoulder. The caption was just a sun emoji. I stared at that photo for an hour. Zooming in. Looking at their faces. The easy intimacy. The way she was leaning into him like it was the most natural thing in the world. Maybe it was natural for them. Maybe they'd always been this close and I'd just chosen not to see it. Or maybe something had shifted. Maybe removing me from the equation, putting them in a romantic setting, letting them play pretend for a week had changed something fundamental. My hands were shaking when I texted her. "We need to talk when you get back." "Is everything okay?" Immediate response this time. "I don't know. Is it?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. "Josh, nothing is happening here. Derek and I are just friends. I thought you were okay with this." "I'm not okay with sunrise beach photos where you're wearing his clothes." I was cold. He lent me his hoodie. It's not that deep. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe this was all in my head and I was ruining a good relationship over nothing. But it didn't feel like nothing. "Do you have feelings for him?" I typed. Deleted it. Typed it again. Deleted it again. Finally sent, "Are you happy?" "Of course I'm happy. I'm on vacation." Not "I miss you." Not "I wish you were here." Just "I'm on vacation." Like that was the important part. The location. The experience. Not who she was sharing it with. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about them in that beach house together. Separate rooms, she'd said. But what did that mean really? Separate rooms with a shared living space. Shared kitchen. Shared everything except beds. And even that was just what she'd told me. I had no way to verify it. No way to know what was really happening when the cameras weren't rolling and the photos weren't being posted. Marcus found me on the couch at 3 a.m. scrolling through Emma's Instagram. "This isn't healthy, man." "I know. So stop." "I can't." He sat down next to me. "You want my honest opinion?" I nodded. "I think she's either cheating on you or she's about to. And I think you know that. You're just afraid to admit it." "She wouldn't. She's on a romantic vacation with another dude, Joshua. She posts more photos with him in 5 days than she's posted with you in 5 months. She's not answering your calls. What more evidence do you need?" I didn't have an answer. Day 6. Radio silence. No texts. No calls. No social media posts. Just nothing. I texted Emma. At 10 a.m. Nothing. Texted, "Please just let me know you're okay," at 2 p.m. Nothing. Called at 6 p.m. Straight to voicemail. I told myself her phone died. Or they were somewhere without service. Or she was busy. Normal explanations for normal behavior. But my gut said different. My gut said something had changed. That the silence meant something. That the absence of communication was itself a message. Marcus came home from work and found me in the same spot on the couch. "Still nothing?" "Still nothing." "Josh, you need to prepare yourself." "For what?" "For the possibility that she comes back and this is over." I wanted to argue. Wanted to defend Emma and our relationship and the trust we'd built. But what trust? I'd been dying inside for 6 days because I didn't trust this situation. Didn't trust her judgment. Didn't trust that she'd chosen me over Derek when it really mattered. The phone finally rang at 11 p.m. "Emma." I answered so fast I almost dropped it. "Hey," she said. Her voice sounded strange. Tight. "Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you all day." "I know. I'm sorry. Derek and I went on a hike and there was no service and then my phone died and we got back late and I needed some time to think." Time to think. Those 4 words landed like a bomb. Think about what? Silence. Long enough that I checked to make sure the call hadn't dropped. "Emma? Can we talk when I get back? I don't want to do this over the phone." "Do what over the phone?" "Emma, you're scaring me." "I'm not trying to scare you. This trip has been really good. Really clarifying. And I think I need to be honest with you about some things." My heart was pounding so hard I could barely hear. "Are you sleeping with him?" "What? No. Josh, it's not like that." "Then what is it like?" Another long pause. "I think I might have feelings for Derek. And I think maybe I've had them for a while. And being here with him, away from everything, it's made me realize that what we have, you and me, it's not what I thought it was." The room tilted. Or maybe I was falling. Hard to tell. "So you're breaking up with me?" "I don't know. Maybe. I need time to figure things out." "You need time? While you're on vacation? With the guy you just admitted you have feelings for?" It's not fair to you for me to pretend everything is fine when it's not. It's not fair to me? I was standing now, pacing. Emma, you went on a romantic vacation with another man. You posted couple photos for a week. You ignored me. And now you're saying you have feelings for him and I'm supposed to think you're being fair? I didn't plan this. Yes, you did. You planned this trip. You chose to go. You chose him over me every single day for the past week. That's not true. It is true. And you know what the worst part is? I let you. I could have said no. Could have told you this was a boundary for me. Could have valued myself enough to walk away when you chose this trip over our relationship. But I didn't. Because I was afraid of being the controlling boyfriend. The insecure guy. The one with trust issues. My voice cracked. Turns out I should have been all those things. Because you're exactly who I was afraid you'd be. She was crying now. I could hear it. Josh, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. But you did. You are. I know. So what happens now? I come home in 2 days. We talk. Figure things out. And Derek? What about Derek? Is he going to be at this conversation? Or are you going to go straight from his bed to breaking up with me? I told you, we're not sleeping together. I don't believe you. The words hung in the air between us. The truth I'd been afraid to say. The trust that was already broken before she'd even confirmed my fears. Maybe you never trusted me at all, she said quietly. Maybe you never gave me reason to. We stayed on the phone in silence for a minute. Both crying. Both knowing this was the end but neither wanting to say it first. I should go, she finally said. Yeah. You should. She hung up. I stood in my living room holding my phone, staring at the dark screen, trying to figure out how I'd gotten here. How I'd gone from happy and in love to completely destroyed in 6 days. Marcus appeared in the doorway. I heard. I nodded. Couldn't speak. I'm sorry, man. I nodded again. For what it's worth, you were right to be worried. Your gut knew. That didn't make me feel better. Being right just meant I'd seen it coming and hadn't been able to stop it. Had chosen not to stop it because I was afraid of being difficult. Afraid of losing her. Lost her anyway. I looked at my phone one more time. At Emma's Instagram still open. The sunset photos. The beach photos. The happy couple photos that she'd insisted meant nothing right up until she admitted they meant everything. The last photo was still there. Her in his sweatshirt, head on his shoulder, sunrise behind them. And I realized with a sick feeling that I'd never been in the picture at all. Not really. I'd been the placeholder. The safe choice. The guy she was with until she figured out what she really wanted. And what she really wanted was currently sharing a beach house with her in Costa Rica. I deleted Instagram. Then Facebook. Then her number from my favorites. Small actions that felt enormous. Like I was erasing her even though she was already gone. Marcus put a hand on my shoulder. You want a beer? I want to not feel like this. Beer's the best I can do. We sat on the couch and I told him everything. The whole sorry story. He listened without judgment, handed me tissues when I needed them, and didn't say I told you so even though he absolutely had. What am I supposed to do for 2 days? I asked. Just wait for her to come back and officially end this? You could end it first. What's the point? It's already over. The point is you take back some power. You don't wait for her to come home and do this on her terms. You tell her now, over the phone, that you're done. That she made her choice and you're making yours. He was right. God, he was right. Why was I giving her the satisfaction of a face-to-face breakup? So she could see my pain? So she could assuage her guilt by being mature about it? So she could keep Derek as her backup while she figured out if I was still worth keeping around? I picked up my phone. Typed out a text. Don't bother coming here when you get back. We're done. I hope Derek is worth it. Stared at it for 5 minutes before deleting every word. I couldn't do it. Couldn't be that guy. Couldn't end something over text when we'd been together for a year and a half. When I'd loved her. When part of me still loved her even though she was killing me. So I waited. 2 days of agony. 2 days of no contact. 2 days of seeing her final Costa Rica posts roll in. The goodbye beach. The last dinner. The airport selfie with Derek that looked exactly like the arrival selfie except now I knew what it meant. She texted when she landed. Home in an hour. Can I come over? Okay. That was all I could manage. One word. All the emotion wrung out of me. Nothing left but the waiting. Emma showed up at my door tanned and beautiful and ruined. She looked exactly like someone who'd had the best week of their life. Glowing. Rested. Happy. Until she saw my face and remembered why she was here. Hey, she said softly. Hey. We stood in the doorway like strangers. I couldn't remember the last time I'd felt this far from her. Couldn't remember what it felt like to trust her. To think we had a future. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She walked past me smelling like sunscreen and something else. His cologne, maybe. Or just the scent of betrayal. Hard to tell the difference. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. The same couch where I'd waited for her. The same couch where Marcus had found me at 3 a.m. stalking her Instagram. The same couch where I'd built and destroyed our relationship 1,000 times in my head. You look tired, she said. I haven't slept. Josh. Just tell me. I don't need the build-up. I don't need you to soften it. Just tell me what happened and what you want. She took a breath. Nothing physical happened with Derek. I don't believe you. It's true. We didn't sleep together. We didn't even kiss. But what? But we talked about it. About us. About feelings we've both had for years but never acted on because the timing was never right or one of us was dating someone or we were afraid to ruin the friendship. And now? Now the timing is right. And the feelings are still there. And I think they might be stronger than what you and I have. There it was. The truth I'd known since that first airport photo. Since she'd told me about the trip and I'd felt my stomach drop. Since every instinct in my body had screamed that this was wrong and I'd ignored them all. So you're choosing him. I'm not choosing anyone yet. I need time to figure out what I want. No. I stood up. You don't get time. You don't get to go on a romantic vacation with him, develop feelings, explore options, and then come back here and keep me on hold while you decide if I'm still worth it. That's not what I'm doing. It's exactly what you're doing. You want to date him without technically cheating on me. You want to keep me as backup in case it doesn't work out. You want to have it both ways. Her face flushed. You're being unfair. I'm being unfair? Emma, you went to Costa Rica with another man. You wore his clothes. You posted couple photos. You admitted you have feelings for him. And I'm being unfair for not waiting around while you figure out your feelings? I never cheated on you. Emotionally you did. You checked out of this relationship the second you decided to take that trip. Maybe before. Maybe you've been emotionally cheating with Derek our entire relationship and I was just too stupid to see it. She was crying now. I care about you, Josh. I really do. This wasn't supposed to happen. But it did happen. And you let it happen. You chose it. I didn't choose this. Feelings aren't a choice. But actions are. You chose to go on that trip. Chose to ignore me all week. Chose to spend every waking moment with him instead of creating any space for us. Chose to come home and tell me you might love him more than me. Those were all choices, Emma. Your choices. I walked to the door. Opened it. I think you should leave. Josh, please. Can't we just talk about this? There's nothing to talk about. You've made your decision. You just don't want to be the bad guy, so you're pretending there's still a choice to make. But there isn't. You picked him the second you booked those flights. That's not true. Then prove it. Tell me right now you're choosing me. That you're cutting Derek off. That you're going to work on our relationship and forget whatever happened in Costa Rica. She opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. Nothing came out. That's what I thought. It's not that simple. It is that simple. You either want to be with me or you don't. And clearly you don't. I do want to be with you. But I also have these feelings for Derek and I can't just turn them off. Then go be with Derek. I was shouting now. Stop torturing me with maybes. Stop pretending this is some impossible choice. You want him. So go get him. But don't expect me to wait around while you do. So you're breaking up with me? The audacity of that question. Like I was the one making the choice. Like I was the one ending this. You broke up with us the second you got on that plane, I said quietly. I'm just the one saying it out loud. She stood there crying, looking at me like I was being cruel. Like I was the villain for not accepting her indecision. For not letting her have both of us while she figured out her feelings. I never wanted to hurt you, she whispered. But you did. And you knew you would. You just didn't care enough to stop. That's not fair. Life isn't fair, Emma. Loving someone who doesn't love you back isn't fair. Being the good guy who trusted you isn't fair. Losing my girlfriend to her best friend because I was too afraid to set boundaries isn't fair. But here we are. She picked up her purse. Walked to the door. Stopped. For what it's worth, I did love you. I do love you. Just not enough. She didn't argue. Just walked out into the hallway and out of my life. I closed the door and slid down it until I was sitting on the floor. Marcus emerged from his room where he'd clearly been listening. You okay? No. He sat down next to me. You did the right thing. Doesn't feel like it. It will. Eventually. I wanted to believe him. Wanted to believe there was an eventually where this pain stopped. Where I could think about Emma without feeling like someone had reached into my chest and squeezed. The next few days were awful. Emma texted asking if we could talk. I didn't respond. She called. I didn't answer. She left voicemails I deleted without listening to them. My friends rallied. Took me out drinking. Distracted me with movies and sports and aggressive trash talk about Emma that should have made me feel better but just made me feel empty. A week after the breakup, I saw Emma's relationship status change on Facebook before I could delete her. In a relationship with Derek Chen. 1 week. She'd waited 1 week before making it official with him. The comments were mostly supportive. Friends who'd clearly known about Derek. Who'd seen this coming. Who'd probably thought I was an idiot for not seeing it too. One comment stood out. From Emma's college roommate, finally. We've been waiting for this for years. Years. They'd been waiting years for Emma and Derek to get together. Which meant everyone knew. Everyone except me. I'd been the chump. The placeholder. The guy who didn't matter because he was never the real choice. I deleted Facebook. Then Twitter. Then every social media account where I might accidentally see them being happy. Where I might see the photos from Costa Rica get recontextualized as their origin story. The romantic beginning of their relationship that just happened to overlap with the end of mine. Work was hard. Concentrating was hard. Everything reminded me of her. The coffee shop where we'd meet. The park where we'd walk. The restaurants we'd go to. This whole city was haunted by our relationship. My boss pulled me aside 3 weeks in. Josh, I don't know what's going on in your personal life, but you need to get it together. Your work is slipping. I apologized. Promised to do better. Went home and stared at my laptop for 4 hours without writing a single line of code. Marcus suggested therapy. You're depressed, man. Like clinically. You need help. He was right. I was depressed. I'd lost 15 pounds. Wasn't sleeping. Wasn't eating. Spent most of my time either working or lying in bed staring at the ceiling. This wasn't grief. This was something darker. The therapist I found specialized in relationship trauma. What you're experiencing is a form of betrayal trauma, she explained in our first session. Your trust was violated in a fundamental way. She didn't cheat though. Technically. Emotional infidelity is still infidelity. And the fact that she put you in a position where you had to doubt yourself, had to question your own instincts and reactions, that's manipulative. You're allowed to feel betrayed. Permission to feel betrayed. I didn't realize how much I needed that. How much I'd been beating myself up for being hurt. For not being cool with the situation. For having boundaries that apparently made me controlling. You set a boundary by being uncomfortable with the trip, my therapist said. She crossed it anyway. Then made you feel guilty for being uncomfortable. That's gaslighting. I'd never thought of it that way. But she was right. Emma had made me feel crazy for being worried. Had accused me of having trust issues when my trust was being actively violated. Had manipulated me into accepting something unacceptable. Understanding that helped. A little. Made me angry instead of just sad. And angry was better because angry meant I could move forward. I started running. Needed something to do with the rage and the energy and the thoughts that wouldn't stop. 5 miles a day. Then 7. Then 10. Punishing my body because I couldn't punish the people who'd hurt me. 2 months after the breakup, I ran into them. Literally. Emma and Derek at a coffee shop near my apartment. She saw me first. Josh. I stopped. Looked at them. Derek had his hand on her lower back. The same way he'd had it in the Costa Rica photos. Possessive. Familiar. Like she'd always belonged to him. Emma. Derek. Awkward silence. Other customers giving us a wide berth. How are you? She asked, and had the audacity to look concerned. I'm great, I lied. Really great. That's good. I'm glad. More silence. We should grab coffee sometime, she said. Catch up. I don't think that's a good idea. Josh, we were together for over a year. We can be adults about this. Adults about what? You moving on with your best friend a week after we broke up? You gaslighting me about boundaries? You making me feel crazy for trusting my gut? Derek stepped forward. Hey man, there's no need to. Don't. I held up a hand. You don't get to talk. You knew she had a boyfriend. You went on that trip anyway. You're just as guilty. It wasn't like that, Emma said. It was exactly like that. And you know what? I hope you're happy together. I hope it was worth it. I hope every time you look at him, you remember that you're with a guy who helped you emotionally cheat. And I hope he remembers he's with a woman who did it. I walked out before either of them could respond. My hands were shaking, but I felt good. Powerful. Like I'd finally said everything I'd been holding back. Marcus was proud when I told him. Character growth, he said. 6 months ago you would have just nodded and left. He was right. 6 months ago I would have absorbed the awkwardness, made it easier for them, taken the blame. Now I knew better. Therapy helped. Running helped. Time helped. Slowly, painfully, I started to feel human again. I went on a few dates. Nothing serious. Just reminders that there were other women in the world. Women who didn't make me feel like I was crazy for having boundaries. Women who wouldn't choose a vacation over their relationship. One of them, Sarah, I'd met at a running group. She was funny and smart and straightforward in a way that felt revolutionary after Emma. "So what happened with your ex?" she asked on our third date. I told her the whole story. Waited for judgment. For her to tell me I should have been more trusting or less insecure. "She sounds awful," Sarah said instead. "Who does that to someone they supposedly love?" "Thank you." I almost shouted it. Everyone acted like I was the problem for being uncomfortable. You weren't the problem. She was. And so was he. They both knew what they were doing. It felt good to be validated. To have someone confirm that I wasn't crazy. That my feelings had been justified. That I'd been wronged. Sarah and I dated for a few months. It didn't work out long term, but it was good. Healthy. A reminder that relationships didn't have to be torture. A year after the breakup, I moved. New apartment in a different neighborhood. Needed a fresh start somewhere Emma hadn't been. Somewhere without ghosts. Marcus helped me pack. "You're really doing better," he observed. "Like actually better, not just pretending." "I am better." "Took long enough." "You loved her. That's not something you just get over." "I did love her." Past tense. "I don't anymore. Now I just feel sorry for her." "Sorry for her?" "Yeah. Because she's with a guy who helped her cheat. And he's with a woman who cheated. How's that supposed to work long term? How do they trust each other when they know what they're both capable of?" Marcus grinned. "Karma. Maybe it was karma. Or maybe they were perfectly happy and I was just bitter. Either way, it wasn't my problem anymore." I heard through mutual friends that they'd gotten engaged. 6 months after my breakup. A year and a half after Costa Rica. Apparently Derek proposed on the anniversary of their first official date, which I'm sure was tastefully scheduled after an appropriate mourning period for my relationship. I didn't feel anything when I heard. No pain, no anger, no satisfaction. Just nothing. They were strangers to me now. Their happiness or unhappiness didn't touch my life. That's when I knew I was actually over it. When I could hear about them and not feel that punch to the gut. Not wonder what I'd done wrong. Not replay every conversation looking for where I'd failed. I hadn't failed. I'd trusted someone who wasn't trustworthy. I'd been kind to someone who'd been cruel. I'd given someone the benefit of the doubt when I should have listened to my instincts. But I'd learned. I'd learned that boundaries aren't controlling. That trust has to be earned and maintained. That love isn't enough if someone isn't willing to choose you every day. I'd learned that I was worth more than being someone's backup plan. Worth more than being gaslit into accepting unacceptable behavior. Worth more than a relationship where I was always second to her best friend. It took 2 years, but I'm good now. Really good. Dating someone new who actually respects boundaries. Who doesn't have suspiciously close friendships with exes or best friends she takes romantic vacations with. Who chooses me, clearly and obviously, every single day. And Emma? She's married to Derek now, I guess. I wouldn't know. I don't check anymore. Don't care anymore. Sometimes I think about sending her a thank you note. Thank you for showing me exactly who you were. Thank you for choosing him so I could find someone better. Thank you for the pain that taught me self-respect. But I won't. Because the best revenge isn't a note or a confrontation or even success. The best revenge is not giving them another thought. And I finally don't.